After a very mid experience at the Round 1 arcade in Holyoke, Massachusetts, I thought to myself, man, that sucks. That arcade was so cool. They had such cool claw machines. I would love to go back, but I don't want to support any business with such bad customer service, even up to the GM who emailed me and was pretty unhelpful as well. I was like, man, that's unfortunate. That arcade was sick. If only there were cool arcades like that close by. Wow, guess what? They're opening that same arcade closer to you than the one that was over there. So hopefully it has better staff and is just as good as that one with as many cool machines and whatnot. And you know what? I went. It was opening weekend 3 days ago on Saturday, and today is Tuesday. I went nice and early when they first opened so that it wasn't too busy, and the customer service was fantastic. The vibe was great. I feel a little bit more experienced with this arcade now, so I was kind of ready to do the best that I could and try to win as much as I could. As you could see, they had my favorite game, Flappy Bird Flying Tickets there. Unfortunately, it looked like it didn't daily reset, so even though the jackpot was 1,000 tickets, it was set very high. And when I'm at an arcade like this, I am pretty hooked on the claw machines and doing different things, so I could have tried to grind and go for the all-time high score and the 1,000-point ticket bonus a bunch of times, but I probably played it like 10 or 15 times throughout the day and just said, you know what, I don't even think 15 times, I think probably 10 times, and I thought to myself, I'm good. I want to play other stuff and try to win prizes and stuff, and that's what you're seeing now, a bunch of ridiculously cute claw machine prizes, so many plushies, and I really wanted what I believe is a Story of Seasons cow. This is a mini plush that, if you watch my last video about round 1 or see any of my TikToks, I am so bad with these mini claws for some reason. I always grab the little chute there, and this time, even though I'm not grabbing it, even though I did right there, I just can't seem to win, and using the conversion rate of how much, even if you spend $110 for 777 credits, that comes out to about, I think, 7 credits for $1, and these are 10 credits, so really like $1.40 a play, and we're just losing, right? We're just putting money into this machine, and it's funny because these mini claws, they're supposedly so easy to win, so that they cost like $1.50 to play, whereas the medium-sized machines are actually 8 credits, so a little over $1, and you can get bigger prizes, but I think the payout rate for those is probably higher. But look, we finally win a little Boba Cat. It was so satisfying to see it actually get picked up in those claws so nice and securely and make its way into the chute. We finally won one, only costed us however much it costed. So we can't think too much about money, but you know me, whenever I play games, I am thinking about the money because I want to get the most for my dollar. And that means we gotta either get tickets to go to the redemption area and try to get some prizes at the end, or we need to win some plushies with the claw machines that we're putting all our money into. Hopefully both, right? So I've seen that green guy before, got him in last video. These mini claws, basically my goal was to win some mini claws, win some regular claws, win some UFO catchers, and try to play some Flappy Bird. So I need this cow, right? I'm like, this thing is absolutely adorable. I'm trying to finagle him a little bit, see if I could move him around or anything. I'm pushing him, but I'm not really pushing him in a good direction, so no luck. I asked the nice boy walking around if he could help me, and he literally stacks 3 of them on top of each other for me to make it super easy for me. Guess what? Not easy enough. I can't seem to get this guy, but you know what? Look what we do here. Look what we do here. We just tip them right in. We don't waste our play. We still have a play. Now we're going to go for something impossible as we're farting around with the one in the back here trying to do whatever. I'm going to try to get this one on the right, but we almost go for a 3. 3 and 1. We don't get it, but we do get our little cow. However much they get those plushies for, probably very little. I just definitely spent too much on that. Speaking of which, we're going to continue that trend with a montage of me trying to win a Kirby. Let's count the tries. This is number 3. These are claws that look pretty good because right there, like, it's spitting it out the side. Like, the claw is, like, it seems like it has, right there, it does not, like, look like it has a good grab. But for the most part, it looks like they're, like, aggressively dropping. They're, like, they present themselves as a no BS kind of claw, right? They just go down, do their business, they close, they come back up. They don't keep you waiting, on tooth and nail, chomping at the bit, like, oh, what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen. So I've lost count. I think the total is about 12th place. So wherever we're at with that, I literally could not win one of these Kirby's, and I'm just, these are 8 credits a play, because these are, I guess, like the medium-sized claw machines, or the normal size, but with smaller plushies in them. So I'm definitely like, $13 into that, but that's fine. So I go right next to it to try to win this guy whose name I forget, and I think I'm going to win on my first try. I don't, so I really need something to turn my luck around, and I see one of the arms on this Japanese style game here has already been hit. There are 2 arms that have those target signs on them, and with this wheel of light you just want to stop it on the target, and if you do, the arm goes down. And on my first try, I'm able to hit that second arm. Boom, drops the fish. So our luck seems to be evening out a little bit. We didn't do so hot with the mini plushies, didn't do so hot with the Kirby, but on our first try we win this awesome fighter of a fish trying to dig him out of there, and we get ourselves a nice big orange fishy. So adorable little different Alpicasso pastel colored different animals here, right? We got a little sloth there, we had a bear, and I'm able to get this sloth on my second try, which I'm so happy about. I love the humongous Alpicassos. I'm actually still trying to get one. I just don't see them anymore. And we actually get 2 in a row. So these little machines are actually proving to be okay today. I'm finally getting some wins on the little ones. And right there, after the back-to-back, what are they? Sloths. I'm trying to get this guy. I hang him up on the side, and then I try to push him in, but I actually push him out by accident. So I get him hung up there again, and this time I'm going to be super dainty, and I'm just going to poke him, and he falls right in. So I'm going to now try to go for another 2 for 1, if that's possible. And we actually get a 2 for 1. We actually get a 2 for 1. That is very rare for me to do. We did a couple cool tricks in this video so far, pushing guys in and winning. It maybe like back to back and stuff, but that was a true 2 for 1. That was sick. The Pac-Man and the Kirby's are 2 round. I did try to win them, no luck there. I see some dinosaurs. I'm just surrounded by cool UFO machines at this point, and I'm like, I'm scoping out everything, and I'm like, alright, let's try. Now my strat here is to use that round part, not the claws, to push down the plushie, and here it doesn't look so good, but it actually shakes him enough to get him to fall in on our first try. So I'm like, alright, now we're cooking a little bit, now we're heating up with these games, we're winning some plushies, this is pretty nice. And yeah, so now I have to take a trip to my car. They didn't have bags, so I had to take a trip to my car, and now I'm going for my strat again. So the strat is you want to line up the center, that UFO, the actual UFO part of the machine, wherever you want it to push down on, and when the claws open up, they're actually going to avoid the object, making the head of the machine go down further and push down further on it. At least that's what I noticed when I won my Rillakkuma plushie in my first round 1 video. So nothing doing on here. I thought maybe if I got closer to me we would get there. We are able to move them a little bit, and sometimes it'll keep you nervous there because it'll push it a little bit, and then you're like, oh, I didn't win, and then when the claws come up, it actually, like it did with that Jurassic Park plushie, will have them in there, or the claw is actually just holding them in place at that point because the head already did its job. So here we're trying to get this Yoshi. Oh, it seems so doable. You could see I only moved to the right just a little bit, and I only move up a little bit too because I just want to push him down, and this time we got nothing doing on this one too. So we're gonna walk away from that. We're gonna see this panda bear here, and I can see he's he's in a pretty good spot. So I'm just gonna go to the left a little bit, and same strat, I just want to use that head. You could use the arms too, but I think the head is stronger, and it seemed pretty pitiful, but we just move them enough, and even though it seemed pretty top heavy from the head, it didn't get stuck back there, it falls in, and we're actually able to win a panda bear. So we're racking up some dubs, things are starting to pick up. This is good, this is good. I go for this guy. Now here is a little problem because the head doesn't go down as far as I thought it was going to go. That could be misleading sometimes. I guess there must be a sensor on the head as well. When I'm referring to the round part as the head, so I'm going to continue to do that. But I guess when that makes contact with something, sometimes it only goes down so far. I've seen them go down very far. But that's not always the case. You could see right here, it pushes down a little bit, and then I think when it meets some resistance, it goes, okay, enough. So now we're taking a few L's, trying to get some different prizes here. But that was my strat all day, to use the head, and right there we do push it down like it's supposed to. Unfortunately, the head of the plushie is so big that it falls in the exact wrong direction that we needed it to go. Going for an adorable boba cat. Look at the patience. It's just making you sit there and salivate over if you're going to win or not. So I thought it was doable still. I thought if we can get enough force to go down that we would be able to push this guy down. But it really, right when it met any resistance, it just kind of stopped, and it was not even close. So I definitely spent like 4 or 5 tries on these machines because it seemed so perfect. And right here it is. It definitely fell out a bunch of times, and I didn't want to put all that footage in there. But after like 4 or 5 plays, we are able to win a mini little, I forget the name of him. And then we came back to the Kirby machine. I'm like, damn, alright, I reloaded my card now. I gotta win. Let me just try once or twice. Maybe it hit the payout. And this is literally my first try. The claws seem nice and tight. I don't know what changed. It must have hit the payout rate, right? And hopefully no one, or maybe they did, I'm not sure. Whatever happened worked, because we finally win the damn Kirby that took us so many tries. So now I'm just like, alright, we're winning stuff, we're doing pretty good. Let's just keep racking it up, go to any machine that looks decent. Let's go to these 8 credit medium-sized plushie, medium to small plushie size machines, and let's try to get this frog. And on the second try, we're actually able to win them. So now I'm feeling hot, right? I'm like, alright, now we're just racking up a lot of wins. So I'm like, I don't even necessarily like this bear too much, but these claws are doing pretty well. It's still the 4th day of this place being open, so maybe they're being generous with the payout rates and stuff. Let's try to win as many plushies as we absolutely can today. So second try here, we get a nice body grab, and we're actually able to get this guy, almost drop him right there, but on our second try we're able to get him. And there we have a cute little bear holding a little chocolate bar. Oh, so I see the Mario machine right here, and I'm like, look at this grab on this boo. Perfect grab, easy win. Oh, look at that. It gets farther away. Look at this in slow motion now. We drop him. Oh, and his weight was just too far, just like rimmed out in basketball, and somehow we're even farther away than where we started. So we pick him up again. We're like, all right, and now we're even farther away from where we started the second time. And he's actually knocked out of play this time, so we literally can't even try to get him anymore. So I go for this bullet bill instead, and luckily for me, we get a good grab, and we get him right in the machine. Nice bullet bill. Third try. Heartbroken by the boo, but nice to get a bullet bill. And I see this Koopa Troopa's right on the edge here, so I go for him in back-to-back on the same machine. Not sure if that's a payout thing or if these claws are legit, but I really did like those claws. And now I'm going to try something new. I'm sorry, I'm just like a rabid dog at the mouth right now, just yip-yapping away trying to get through all this as efficiently as possible. So I hope it's good. I hope you're enjoying it, and thank you so much for watching this and for being with me. This is my first time playing this kind of hook UFO machine, and it seems very winnable if you can get the timing down, and I feel like I can get the timing down. So I wanted to play a few times. I got, the first couple plays were pretty rough. That one I ended up getting behind it a little bit. This is a weird angle from where I'm recording it, and I believe it was my 4th try. maybe it took 5, but yeah, I recorded everything myself, by the way. So I'm playing and recording. I'm a one-man show at this place today, and by the 5th try, we're actually able to get that. You basically want to get that hook right on top of, if not a little bit closer to you. That way, when it drops down, it's right underneath it, and it just comes up and latches onto the hook, and you get yourself an ice cream cone. So I'm finally able to win that after. I don't want to say finally. I guess 5 tries is pretty good, right? Because for having never played it before, I needed to get a couple feels, and fortunately I'm okay at games like that where I could gauge the timing, and holding the phone isn't so much of a deterrent. So here I try to push down on that with the head of the machine. Doesn't work the way I want. Here I'm like, alright, let me play the way it's supposed to be played, but the claw gets kind of angled off from that box and gets pushed, so I'm like, alright, let me just tap this and try it one more time, because it looks like it's only hanging on there by a little bit. I don't even care for this prize too much. I just want to see if I can win it. But the same thing happens where the claw slides off the box and doesn't catch that thing. So I call it on that. I go over to this cool Kiwi guy, and I'm like, oh, this would be a pretty sick win. Looks winnable. Push down from the head, and now the claw is actually the only thing holding him up at that part at that moment. And on our first try, we're actually able to win an adorable little Kiwi. Oh, he's not that little, but that's okay. We like the big prizes. So I'm going for this little, it's a dog dressed up like a seal, I think, or a seal dressed up like a bear. And same strat, trying to push down on his little hiney with the head right there. And on the second try, sometimes this happens and they fall through, but he's not falling through. He's stuck in there pretty good, so I try to push him down. I actually ask one of the same nice kid that was helping me all day, shout out to him. He comes over and helps me and pushes it down and kind of re-angles it for me, which I still can't win, so I just asked someone else if they could reset it entirely for me, which they do, and I put it in the same exact spot, and I just had to walk away after like 6 plays, and those games are 14 credits, which is like $2 a piece, so at some point you gotta cut your losses. First try on our friend Rillakumo. We always seem to have good luck with him. This didn't seem great, but somehow these claws did their jobs so well, and we get a Rillakumo on our first try. That's our 3rd one that we have in the collection now, just a bunch of them. This is one of the most adorable little octopuses I've ever seen, or octopi, whatever you would call it, but I do know that these ones that are drop me in the shoot ball kind of claw games are definitely on a payout rate, so I tried it a couple times, and then I gave up on that. So now I go to the other side of the ice cream little hook and win game to try to win one of these penguins dressed up as something, and on I forget what it was, 3rd or 4th try, we're actually able to win it. So these plushies end up being about $8 or $10, and now I've flown through $110, and I'm like, let me go for let me try to end the day with one of my favorite video game characters of all time, Yoshka. I got 2 plays left. Let's try it here. I try to push him down. I do push him down a little bit, but it's not enough, and I got 1 play left, and I'm like, I think we gotta go for it, right? It seemed like it was doable. It seemed like we pushed him down a little bit, so let's go for it one more time. I swipe the card. Now let's do it. Last play magic, right? Just barely go to the right, just barely go up. Are you kidding me? We get him on our final try. It was insane. Yoshka, one of my favorites, my absolute favorite characters of all time, and we're able to win him. Super stoked about that. Cool Sonic machine I don't think I've ever seen before. This is the outside of it from being inside the mall as opposed to walking in its outside entrance. And then I was walking around the mall and I saw this WoW little arcade, WoW Family Entertainment Center, and the games in here were so old and so retro. And some of them, this one right here, this Speed Demon game, this was one of the first arcade games I ever played when I was a kid, and my grandfather would take me to the arcade, and I have not seen this machine in, I don't know, 15, 20 years or so. That is a historic part of arcading being in my brain, my mind. Um, I could not believe they had that machine there. That was just like insane. So I'm in this. Look at this. This is a Sega Sonic basketball game. I just went to like this crazy, humongous round one. You guys didn't even see the bowling or the food, none of that stuff that they have. And now you would think you come to this like little rinky-dink area, but it wasn't. Like this was super nostalgic, and even though it wasn't anything crazy, just the fact that I got to pull the handle on this machine and play this Speed Demon game in relive, like I'm looking at it now like an adult, where I was like, wow, it looks so much different. But as a kid, it was like magic to me. I remember playing this game and trying to hit the red, get the ball to land in the red thing, and then stop the light on the red arrow like I did right there. Unfortunately, I'm only able to do it once, but that was my first try, and I hadn't played it since haven't played it since I was a little kid. So that was really, really a magic moment. The reason I drove this far and came all this way was just to play at round one, and then I end up going to this really small arcade and seeing, in the same mall, and seeing just, you know, some games from my arcading roots, and it was really special, and it was really cool. So, yeah, I definitely put a couple bucks in the token exchanger, even though it just gave me quarters, and I played some games, and I won myself a little duck from this really funny dinosaur game. Now this is my back seat filled with all my plushies from round one, and this is my final haul. I used some tickets that I got from Flying Tickets to get a Cyndaquil plushie, same one I got last time, and a nice sick Gengar pillow. The prices on the ticket redemption stuff, I have to say, they're very, very good. If you could win some jackpots, you can get yourself a nice prize with them. So even though it costs $110 for 777 chips or tokens, whatever you want to call it, you can get yourself some good prizes. And this is my final haul. So thank you guys very, very much for watching. Oh, I did actually have my friend gave me his card that had about $50 worth of chips on it, so I blew through that too quickly at the beginning with the mini claws and kind of savored the 110 I spent on trying to make sure I won some decent prizes. So for about $150, I think he kind of hooked me up. So total for me, it was about like 140. I spent, I think, 140 for all those plushies. In terms of value, is pretty good in my opinion. If you want to add up how much you think they're all worth, then that's I think it's pretty even. So again, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I definitely recommend this round one. I had a really fun time, and don't sleep on the WoW Entertainment Family Center. That's a piece of history in that mall. So thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.